What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the In High Gear podcast, hosted by yours truly, KC the Blueprint, brought to you by TLT Motorsports. We got a packed show for y'all today. We got a lot that went on in the world of motorsports over last week, and we gonna bring it all to you, news, stats, and everything like that in the world of motorsports. What's up, everybody? I want to thank everybody. Episode number 1 in the books. We on episode number 2 right now. I want to thank everybody who stopped by the channel. Episode number 1. Like, subscribed, and shared to the channel. Here we go. Number 2. We got a lot that went on in the race world. We got our feature machine of the week. We did a $50 gift card contest on who can guess what the machine of the week was. I gave everybody a hint. It was an iconic car from the movies in the 1980s. So we got that. We got our first winner, y'all. We're gonna announce that later on in the show as we do the feature machine of the week. But we got a lot that went on this past week, and we're gonna start bringing it to you right now. First off, we want to show some love to my man, No Prep King, Jeff Lutz of Lutz Race Cars. We want to get him some love this past Thursday on their way to a race. He, his family, him, his wife, and his son and his dog got wrong-sided by a drunk driver. A collision that ran into the toter home that they were, carrying the cars and everything with. Totally destroyed the car. Caught on fire. He was narrowly able to escape, getting his family out before the toter home was destroyed. Luckily, it didn't get all the way back to the trailer where the cars were, but it did a lot of damage. And we want to send some love out to Jeff Lutz and his family. It's always something bad when you deal with a drunk driver. That drunk drivers, they just don't seem to get it. They think that they can get drunk and they still can drive. Back in 2022, my mother-in-law was hit head on by a drunk driver. She could have lost her life. The driver was at a high rate of speed. She could have lost her life. And she was in the hospital for between the hospital and therapy and in a nursing home for a year trying to recover. Luckily she recovered. A lot of people don't, but luckily she recovered. And we just want to give a shout out to Jeff Lutz and his family, that they were able to recover from them. This was no serious injuries or nothing like that. They were able to get out just in the nick of time before the vehicle engulfed in flames and totally was destroyed. So like I say, we want to give a shout out to Jeff Lutz and Lutz Race Cars. And other than that, we got a lot else going on in the world of motorsports. We got super bike races that went on this past week. We got NASCAR, we got NHRA, we got IHRA. We got a lot of news to cover, so we're going to get started. We're going to get started with the world of NASCAR, that race that went on over the weekend. We had Austin Dillon, who won the NASCAR Cookout Shootout at Richmond Raceway this past weekend. He held everybody off to take the win. We got the top 5 spots that happened in the race. We got Austin Dillon, number 1 in the Chevrolet car. Number 2, we got Alex Bowman in the Chevrolet car. Ryan Blaney in the Ford car, the number 12 Ford car. Joey Logano, he done took number 4. I'm telling you, he coming back. Joey Logano with the number 22 Ford car, and Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford car. We got the top 5 results. Like I say, Joey Logano won last year. He been turning it up. He got the second half of the season now. He's turning up. He came in 4th. Joey Logano bringing it back, y'all. Y'all better get ready for him. He is on fire and he is ready. And we got a lot going on with that. We got the the overall stats. We're gonna get you with the overall stats for that right now. In the number one spot, we got William Byron with the 24 car. Number 2, we got Chase Elliott. Number 3, we got Denny Hamlin. Number 4, we got Kyle Larson. And number 5, we got Ryan Blaney in the 1 through 5 spots for the points. William Byron is the points leader with 839 points. Chase Elliott with 771 points. Denny Hamlin with 766 points. Kyle Larson with 759 points. And Ryan Blaney with 756 points. It's a tight race from 2 to 5 points wise. So everybody looking to turn up the heat. We got a lot going on with that, and we still got a lot more to cover. We're going to move on to the world of drag racing. NHRA over this past weekend in Brainerd, the Lucas Oil Nationals, it went down. We had a couple new number 1 spots. We had 2 separate races. We had a Saturday race, which was the Too Fast, Too Tasty specialty race. And then we had the Lucas Oil Nationals race that went on Sunday. So we're going to start out with Saturday at the specialty race. Funny car, Jack Beckman won over Matt Hagan and secured the number 1 spot when he ran in 387 with a 9 at 330 miles an hour. Jack Beckman been on fire since he took over as replacement driver for John Force. This past year, he stacked up a couple wins. He been real consistent. He running, and we want to congratulate him on this win this past weekend and securing the number 1 spot. So then we move on into top field. We got Sean Langdon, who secured the number 1 spot. We got Brittany Force with the number 2 spot with a 369 with a 7 at 340 miles an hour in that top field dragster car. And we want to thank Sean Langdon. We want to congratulate him for his win. Sean Langdon, he's proven he's really turning the heat up. With 8 races left for the championship, everybody's looking to turn the heat up now. So then we move on to Pro Stock. This is the specialty race now, the Too Fast, Too Tasty race. So Pro Stock, Greg Anderson, he won the race, and Greg Anderson secured the number 1 qualifying spot in that race as he won that race. So we want to congratulate Greg Anderson. I told you can't never count out Greg. Greg is a rider, boy, in that Chevrolet car, boy. He been riding that. Then we're going to move top field, Doug Collada and Jack Beckman and Greg Anderson. They all secured the number 1 spots in their respective classes over this weekend. And that is it for the specialty race. Then we want to move on to the actual race of all the U.S. Oil Nationals, the Lucas Oil National actual event. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. The actual event. So in the number 1 spot, we got Doug Collada. He ran a 365 with a 5 at 339 miles an hour. Number 2 spot, we got Brittany Force with that 369 with a 7 at 340 miles an hour. We got number 3, we got Jordan Vandergriff, who ran a 370 at 334 miles an hour. Number 4, we got Billy Torrance with a 371 at 333 miles an hour. Number 5, we got Tony Stewart. This is top field. We got Tony Stewart with a 373 at 331 miles an hour. Number 6, we got Clay Milliken with 374 at 332 miles an hour. And number 7, we got Antron Brown with a 374 at 334 miles an hour. So those are the race results for the top fuel, who the winners of this past weekend and the points leaders. And we're gonna move on now to funny car. We got funny car, we moving to funny car. So in the number 1 spot, we got your boy Jack Beckman, who actually won the race. He's the leader in the points with that. Jack Beckman with a 387 with a 9 at 336 mile an hour. Number 2 is Austin Prock with a 389 at 331 miles an hour. Number 3, we got Hunter Green with a 390 at 332 mile an hour. Number 4, we got Ron Capps with a 390 with a 7 at 328 miles an hour. Number 5, we got Junior Todd with a 390 at 331 mile an hour. We got Alexis DeZoria and number 6 spot with a 391 at 332 miles an hour. And we got my boy Cruz Petragon with a 391 at 329 miles an hour. Those are your 1 through 7 race results for the funny car class. And we got the number 1 winner, Jack Beckman. Then we're going to move over to Pro Stock. Pro Stock, like I said, my boy Greg Anderson, you can't count him out. Number 1 is Greg Anderson with a 655 with a 5 at 207 miles an hour. Number 2, we got Dallas Glenn with a 656 at 208. And number 3, we got Matt Hartford with a 657 at 206. Number 4, we got Christian Karuta at 658 at 206. Number 5, we got Corey Reed at 659 at 208. And we got Erica Enders at number 6 spot with a 659 at 207 miles an hour. And number 7, we have David Karuta with a 660 at 207 miles an hour. Those are your race results for the Pro Stock class. And now we move on to IHRA, who held their race on 8/8 at my home track in Michigan, Milan, Michigan. It's now called the Ronda Dragway. It's always been called Milan, Michigan. Everybody from Michigan, all my peeps know that it's still going to be Milan, Michigan. I don't care what you call it. It's going to be called Milan Dragway. I don't care what you call it. I'm sorry. I'm a little off script. Okay, so we're going to go with the results in Pro Mod. In Pro Mod, the results of the winner is Randy Weatherford he ran a 360 with a 12 at 210 miles an hour as he defeated Kaylee Mills, who ran a 380. Well, she ran a 360 at 207. He took the Pro Mod win. Then we're gonna move on to Mountain Motor Pro Stock. We got Dylan Voss took the win over John Motorcalvo. Dylan Moss ran a 172 miles an hour at a 484 with a 3. Lowest ET of the round in that one. We're going to give a shout out to Dylan Voss for taking that win in Mountain Motor Pro Stock over John Montecalvo. Then we're going to move over to Top Sportsman. The final round, we went Justin Saunders. He beat Mike Padilla. Justin Saunders, he took the win at a 425 at 163 miles an hour. So we're going to move on now to motocross, y'all. We're going to move over to motocross. We got a lot that went on in the motocross. We got your 450 and your 250 classes in motocross, the race that went on this past weekend. So, number 1 in the 450 class, the race results, Jeff Lawrence took the number 1 spot. He won the number 1 spot on that Honda. We got Hunter Lawrence and number 2 brothers on that other Honda. Number 3, we got Eli Tomac on the Yamaha bike. Number 3. Number 4, RJ Hampshire with the Husqvarna. Number 5 was Justin Cooper on that Yamaha bike. Number 6 is Dalen Fenderis on that Honda bike. And number 7 is Malcolm Stewart on that Husqvarna bike. And that's your 450 class overall results. And we gonna go over to the 250 class. The 250 class, Joe Shimoda, number 1 on the Honda bike. Number 2, Hayden Deegan on that Yamaha bike. Number 3, Tom Vial with the KTM bike. Number 4, Seth Hammaker on the Kawasaki bike. Number 5, Julian Brommer on that KTM bike. Number 6, Garrett Marchbanks on that Kawasaki bike. And number 7 is Jordan Smith on that Triumph bike. So those are your results for the 250 class. You got your 450 class and your 250 class on that. And those are your race results for motocross. And now that we got all your race results out of the way, we're going to move on to the next section of the podcast. We're just going to sit back. We're just going to talk a little bit. We're going to have a little fun. And then we're going to get into the feature machine of the week. You guys won't believe what the feature machine of the week is. I'm going to reveal it to you in just a second. We got a winner of the $50 gift card giveaway to the person who guessed what the feature machine of the week is. Anybody who follow me on the social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, I put it all there. TikTok for anybody who wanted to participate. We're going to have more giveaways. We're going to be doing more things. We're going to have a lot of other giveaways, gift certificates. We're going to have product giveaways and everything. So I need y'all to lock into the channel at TLT Motorsports 1 on YouTube. Lock into the channel. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and share. Help grow the channel so we can do bigger and better things. We're going to go to races. We're going to have giveaways at the races. We're going to do podcasts at the races. But we need to grow the channel, y'all. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and share to the channel. Let everybody know that this is the new #1 stop for all things in the world of motorsports that we're going to cover. We ain't even scratched the surface yet. This is episode number 2. We still got a long way to go. We still got a lot of things to cover. The rest of this year, the rest of the season as it relates to motorsports, all the different races. We still got more of the motocross. We got more of the superbike. We got more drag racing coming up. We got more NASCAR coming up. We're going to be doing some other things as the races, as the events come. So we've been having fun up to this point. Like I said, this is episode number 2. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Another quick little backstory about your boy. Like I said, the podcast, it means a lot to me just to be able to do it. I've been dreaming this up for some years. I always wanted to do a podcast. I had a lot going on in life at so many different times where I could have done it. Everybody who know me know I used to work for Roush Technologies, and I worked in the prototype division for Ford. I worked in the crash safety department, and we did a lot with the crash tests and stuff like that. It was a lot. I traveled all over to do a lot of things for Roush. That was one of my best jobs. We had a good time, and my passion still grows for that. I still love Roush. They are probably the reason why I am right now. Even living in South Carolina, they're part of the reason why I'm in South Carolina. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Roush every chance I get. I want to give a shout out to all the people who support me, all the people who's been supporting me all these years, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling, y'all. So without further ado, we're gonna move into the machine of the week, y'all. The machine of the week. I was driving and I just ran across it. I was on my way to my storage unit to get some things out for my storage unit, doing projects and stuff like that. And it is a place right next door to my storage unit. It's a big facility. They do a lot of cars. And guess what I saw? because I want y'all to know the winner of the first giveaway, the $50 gift card giveaway. And this goes out to my girl Andrea Smith out of Detroit, Michigan. She nailed it. She gave 2 guesses and she nailed it on the second guess, y'all. I'm about to let y'all know right now. This is the most iconic movie car from the 80s. This movie has seen so many heights as it relates to numbers wise. And I got a little backstory on the car. I got a little backstory on the movie part of it. And we talk about none other than, I know y'all waiting. We talk about none other than the time machine from Back to the Future, the DMC DeLorean 12. We got a lot of backstory about the DMC. And we're going to show a quick little video that I was able to capture a few pictures and a few videos on that. We're going to show you a quick video on the DMC DeLorean, the DMC 12, the most iconic car in movie history, the time machine, Doc Brown's time machine, Marty McFly. We talking all that. Listen, when I ran across it, man, I was like a kid that seen his favorite superstar, whatever. Like, the car is a superstar. So I was like a kid, dude. I saw the car and I was like, oh my God. You know, Back to the Future was like one of my favorite movies. Even right now, I can watch Back to the Future every time it comes on. I can even go and watch Back to the Future, all of them, anytime they come on. So growing up as a kid, I thought that I would never in my life be able to be in the same area as the car. Like, a lot of people, they don't get a chance to see that. Like, that's the most iconic, one of the most iconic movie cars in history. And, you know, a lot of people feel the same way I did about the movie Back to the Future, and they never get to see the car in person. You know, granted, it's a replica car, but just the nostalgic, what you get from it when you in the presence of it. If you ever sat down and watched Back to the Future, then you will know what I'm talking about. Just the love you have for the movie, and just to be able to see the car in person, that was something. You know, I done seen a lot of cars. I done seen a lot of iconic cars, but this car is like one of the cars that, to see that, you feel like a kid again. So we talk about the Doc Brown's time machine, the DMC DeLorean. We're gonna talk about the DeLorean as well, but we're gonna talk about it. So I found out that the DMC 12 was like the worst car ever made, but the most iconic car ever made all at the same time. We're gonna talk about John Z. DeLorean. We're gonna talk about his rise to where he started to where he ended up as it related to DMC car company, and the rise and the fall of John Z. DeLorean. Watch this quick video of what I was able to get, footage I was able to get of the actual car, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little more about that. Watch the video. Yeah, that was a cool video. Like I said, I was so excited to even be around it. I felt like a kid again. And once again, I want to shout out to the winner of the first giveaway, Andrea Smith out of Detroit, Michigan, my hometown. Thank you for participating. Thanks everybody who participated and just didn't guess it right. But thanks everybody who participated. We're going to have more giveaways, gift card giveaway. We're going to have all type of other giveaways. Just stay tuned as we grow the channel, as we grow this podcast. We're going to be doing a lot for this podcast. So thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to keep the game rolling. So now we're going to talk about the DMC DeLorean, the DMC 12. Okay, we're going to start off with John DeLorean himself. This man he was an iconic man. You know, I didn't really know a lot about it. I knew the DMC. I knew the DeLorean, just the movie car, and I knew a small backstory. I didn't know everything about it up until I did my research when I was doing the Machine of the Week. And so John DeLorean, he was like the man over at Chevrolet. 1959 and 1961, he became head over the division of Pontiac, and he is the reason behind the GTO, because in his side he wanted to produce another car, but General Motors and Pontiac, they didn't kind of want to. They thought he was crazy because he wanted to put a big engine in these small cars. It started with the Tempest, so he wanted to put a big engine in the Tempest, so they was like, that ain't gonna work, man. So he kind of he wrote his own script. I kind of like the way he did his own thing, because he backdoored him. He did the car anyway, and then brought it out. And then once they saw that, you know, the sales and it was sought after, everybody wanted it, they was like, oh, well, okay then, and, you know, you did a good job. So, you know, he always felt like he was above them and they wasn't up to his standards. So in 1975, he got tired of a lot of the other stuff. He had became like a celebrity at that point, and he was doing all types of, he was dating models, marrying models and stuff like that. He was big time. So in 1975, he decided that, you know, I'm tired of this, man. I'm done. He was like, I'm gonna build my own car. He started his own car company, the DeLorean company, DeLorean Motor Company. So he did that. He did it. So this is the story. Like he was the mouthpiece. He was the mouthpiece. So he talked it up. He talked it up. His car, and you know he got investors. And when the first car was produced, the backstory behind the car is that, you know, he had got $150 million from like the British government, and he built a plant over there to do the cars, and he did a lot of talk all the way up until the point, you know, he talked. He produced a mock-up, you know, to show the people. He did all that. He got investors, but he never really completed the vehicle. He didn't have a clear enough plan, like the engine, the drivetrain, things like that. He just talked up and said, I'm gonna have the baddest, most affordable sports car there is. He did all that. He got people to give him the money to start it up, and he never had the clear-cut plan. That's how it ended up being like the worst car produced, but the most iconic car because of the movie. So when the car went into production, he had nothing planned for it. His plan in the beginning was to have a turbo 4-cylinder to put in the car, but he was running behind. He didn't have it clearly planned out, so he ended up using a Peugeot motor, a 4-cylinder, like 130 horsepower, which made it slow. And like I said, he put it all together real quick to get them out there. They had a lot of defects in them. Cars, they were breaking down. Alternators was just, you know, Johnny Carson brought one and it broke down on him after he left the dealership, 5 miles from the dealership, and they sent the DeLorean car to go and get him, and that one broke down. And it was just so much. The car was like crap. They didn't do a lot of research. The engineers, they didn't have enough time to really develop the car the way it should have been. So with that, sales declined. He produced like 6 rose gold ones for $80,000. Now originally the DeLorean was only supposed to be $12,000, but with all the time wasted, and now he was running out of time, running out of money, he had to up the price to $25,000. So they was going for $25,000. It wasn't really selling. Then he produced the rose gold ones for $80,000. Like, it was hard. People wasn't really buying those, and they were breaking down. They got a bad rap. So slowly he started to go into debt, and he had to pay these people back the loan that they gave him to start up the company and everything. So he started just going down. Sales wasn't good. The car wasn't well planned out or produced. So you had a lot going on with that. So what happened was he needed a way to try to recoup the money to try to save his company. So a neighbor of his reached out to him, which later found out that his neighbor was a federal informant, right? So what he did was he got into some trouble, and to try to save himself, he knew his neighbor was a big fish with the John Z. DeLorean. So he was like, I could get him knocked. So what he did was put out a drug sting, and DeLorean, which he was willing to do anything to save his company at that point, he said, okay, I'll do it. So there was a whole bunch of kilos, and it was set up to, he was going to sell them, he was going to save his company. So right after he made the deal, the feds raided, and they got him, and they charged him with, he got a drug case. So he ended up being acquitted of that because after the jury and the judge sat back and listened to the testimony and listened to everything about it, they figured that he was not a drug dealer. He was actually set up. It was, he was set up by it. He wasn't a drug dealer, and the informant just used his name, to get him a lesser sentence in what he had got caught on. So he was acquitted for that. But by the time he was acquitted for that in 1984, his name was ruined. The car company was already rock bottom. So he couldn't build himself back up off of that. Even though he was a man who did so much for General Motors and Pontiac, he wasn't able to recover those allegations of, him being a drug dealer. And the time went past, and the car company went down. So the way it became an iconic car, it was, brought by the movie. And the part in which he was not able to get royalties and to get a lot from that is because by the time they got the car to do the movie, the car company was no longer, so the cars was non-existent. So they ain't had to pay nobody. I'm quite sure they gave him a little something because it still was named the DeLorean. They probably gave him a little something, but he ain't getting money like residuals, like Michael J. Fox is still getting residuals right now to this day because of that movie. And that was it. That was it. He had a lot of plans for the DMC car company. I saw blueprints where it wasn't just the DMC-12 DeLorean that he was going to produce. He was going to produce an array of vehicles, work vehicles, and stuff like that. He had the plan to do all that. It's just that he got caught up, and by the time he got out of that legal battle, his name was just in the mud. So that's a quick backstory on the DMC DeLorean, how it was the worst car ever made, but the most iconic car ever made because it was the centerpiece of the Back to the Future franchise, and that's what made it the most iconic movie car of all time. And that's your Future Machine of the Week, the DMC DeLorean, the Back to the Future car. That is it. That is all. Yes. I want to start off by thanking everybody who took the time out to listen to the podcast, tune in to the podcast. Thank everybody. I need you to share the channel, and I need everybody to come in to TLT Motorsports 1 on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share to the channel. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in to episode number 2 of the In High Gear podcast. Each and every Monday at 11 a.m. we're going to come with another episode. As the channel grows, as the shows grow, things are going to get better and better. We're going to have more to cover. We're going to have so much more going on. And I want to thank everybody again for tuning in to the In High Gear podcast, hosted by yours truly, KC the Blueprint, sponsored by TLT Motorsports in effect. Till next week, thank you guys. See you soon. Love.